Hello, my name is Ardi and we are going to solve problem 4.13 from Nilsson book. Use the mesh current method to find V1 and V2 in the circuit. So mesh current methods, has the same meaning as mesh analysis or loop analysis. So we need to use loops in this circuit. Okay, maybe let's start by drawing some loops here. 1, 2, then 3, then 4. Okay, now we already know the current here and here, so this current will be 5 ampere and this current here will be 2 ampere, and we have not yet known the current here. Let's name this as loop 1 and let's name this as loop 2. Okay, now maybe let's start by using KVL at loop 2. KVL at loop 1, I mean. And what does KVL said? KVL said that the sum of the voltage in a loop will equal to 0. Okay, now let's start with this 2 ohm resistor. So we have 2 ohm resistor there, so 2. But this is resistance. We need voltage. To get voltage from resistance, we need to multiply it by the current. So here we are now working on loop 1, so I need to multiply it by I1 first. But here 5 ampere flowing to the opposite direction, so I will have minus 5. Okay, this is for this 2 ohm resistor. And let's move on to that 4 ohm. And the only current that passed through this resistor is that I1. So I'll have I1. And let's move on to this 40 ohm resistor. So I'll have 40. And again, we need to multiply it by I1. But here I2 is flowing to the opposite direction. So I will have minus I2 here. All of this will equal to 0. Okay, so I will have 2I1 minus 10. And then plus 4I1. And then plus 40I1 minus 40I2. And all of that will equal to 0. And now I will have 2 plus 4 plus 40. That will be 46. 46I1. And then minus 40I2. Here, and let's move this minus 10 to the right hand side. So I will have 10 here. Okay, there is nothing that we can do from here. Maybe let's save this as equation number 1. Okay, now let's do KVL at loop 2. KVL at loop 2. And again, we have the sum of voltage in a loop that will equal to 0, right? Okay, now let's start with this 40 ohm resistor. But now we are multiplying by I2 first because we are working on loop 2. So here I will multiply it by I2, but here I1 is flowing to the opposite direction. So I will have minus I1 here. And then let's move on to this 80. So I will have plus 80. Again, I multiply this by I2. But here I will have 2 ampere flowing to the opposite direction. So I will have minus 2 here. And all of that will equal to 0. Okay, now let's distribute this. So I will have 40I2 minus 40I1. And then plus 80I2. And then minus 160. All of that will equal to 0. So let's sum this up. So I'll have minus 40I1. Then plus 120I2. And that will equal to 160. Okay, maybe let's get this as equation number 2. But now we have 2 equations with 2 variables which we can solve. So let's rewrite this as a matrix. So I'll have 46 minus 40. Then minus 40, 120. And then I will have I1 and I2 here. and all of that will equal to 10 and 160. Okay, we can solve this using calculator, so we will get I1 and I2. Let's do that. Let's get our calculator and let's set up this as equation solver. So number 5, and we only need 2 variables, so number 1, and let's input all the value. 46 minus 40, and then 10, and then minus 40, and then 120, and then 160. So I will have this x as I1, so I will have 1.939, okay, 1.939 ampere, and that I2 will be 1.979, okay, 1.979 ampere. But the question is not about I1 and I2, but it's about V1 and V2. But we can calculate that easily from this I1 and I2. Let's do that. So we will have that V1. Okay, what is V1? V1 is here, right? So I will have V1 there is equal to 5 minus I1. Okay, 5 minus I1, then multiplied by 2 ohm, right? Because the voltage is just the current multiplied by the resistance. And let's leave it like that. So I'll have V2 here. What is V2? V2 is this one. So I will have I2, okay, I2 minus 2 multiplied by 80. Okay, maybe let's just plug that in and we will get the numerical value. Let's set up this as computational calculator. And I will have 5 minus I1, but I1 is 1.939. Then all of that multiplied by 2. So I will have 6.122 volt. Okay, 6.122 volt. And then for V2, let's do another calculation. That is I2, 1.979 minus 2, then multiplied by 18. So I will have minus 1.680. Minus 1.680 volt. So this is for V1 and V2. Hopefully I did not make any mistakes in the calculation. And thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye bye.